All right, so another Arthur Wright and Son knife. This is another Barlow, comparing to my eBay Barlow I have here. Um, but this one I bought from James and Company on allaboutpocketknives.com. Allaboutpocketknives.com is kind of like a pocket knife blog type thing, but they also have a sales page where you can buy things, and James and Company's on there. Um, this is a focus. Okay, this is a Arthur Wright and Sons Barlow um, in ebony wood. Now, if you don't know, the eBay one is in rosewood, but this one's in ebony, which is a more premium wood, obviously. I shouldn't say obviously, but it is a more premium wood. Um, and a lot of people like ebony on these traditional pocket knives because it is a handle material that would have been used back in the day, and it looks good, and it's a very hard wood, I believe. Um, so it's a good wood for knife handle material, pretty much. Knife's pretty well put together. There is one slight issue here. There is a crack there in the wood, but it looks like they did stabilize it with some glue or something. I may further stabilize it with some more glue, um, but that's not the end of the world or anything. And like I've discussed in my English Jack video on the Arthur Wright English Jack, James and Company, before they boxed up these knives, sent me pictures of these defects in the knife and asked if I still wanted them. He sent me pictures of this around the pin here, which didn't bother me at all, and the crack and everything, and the slight defects with the English Jack here too. Um, but I still wanted the knives, so I pretty much just said go ahead and send them. I think I paid about $35 for this ebony um, Barlow here, and I'm pretty happy with it. I think you can get a rosewood Barlow over there for about $30. And these are, as I've discussed before, they are working man's knives. So there's going to be slight fit and finish things with them. They're not going to be perfect because they are a lot more of an affordable knife. So for the price that you're paying for them, they are definitely nice. But like I said, this is like $35. So to compare this to a Great Eastern cutlery knife really isn't fair. Um, I discussed in my previous video on the English Jack that they seem to have a couple different tang stamps. Here's the one that came on my eBay Barlow, and it's on this one, Sheffield Handmade England. So that's another one of their tang stamps they appear to have, and I just find that kind of interesting. Um, but yeah, blade satin. I think the one on my rosewood one was more of like a polished blade, and of course, if I grab this one, my eBay one didn't have a tip when I got it, so I had to fix that. This one has a very pointy tip, so I assume that's probably what happened to the rosewood one. Somebody stabbed something or something and broke off the tip. Um, but I definitely like the very pointy blade point there on this clip point. A clip point is really good when it's nice and pointy. Um, but yeah, knife looks good in ebony, I have to say. Other than the slight issues with the handle material or the crack there. Other than that, knife is fit fairly excellently. No huge gaps or anything. I'm trying to do this here in a way that you can see. It's kind of hard to do here sometimes with the lamp light like I got. I should try to get some better lighting solutions, but this has been working so far. Maybe at some point I'll try something a little different or get a second lamp to be over here or something. Do something to try to help light up a little bit better than it is currently. But I'm going to stop talking about that. The knife put together fairly well here. There is a slight deviation in the ebony there, which is cool. Some ebony you get will have white streaks through it and stuff, or like lighter streaks through it, and that's really cool looking. This one's dark except for these little two lines here, which are a little lighter, but that is pretty cool. Ebony, like I discussed, is a handle material that would have been used back in the day on a lot of pocket knives because it's a very hard wood and it looks good and everything. So Pretty accepted, like traditional pocket knife handle material. The blade centering is actually better than I thought it was. I thought it was a little off. I think it is a little off, but it's certainly not off enough to care, and it's not touching the liners. It doesn't appear to be anyway. I think it's a little off to this side, but certainly not the end of the world for a knife like this. Um, yeah, put together well. Other than that, no blade play. The action on it is nice. It snaps open really good. It snaps closed really good. No half stop, obviously. Um, blade blade is satin, which is nice because satin shows scratches less than like a polished blade does. I like the way satin patinas better. And all these Arthur Wright knives that I've shown have been carbon steel. I like carbon steel. I don't know. I don't think they make a stainless knife. Um, I think Taylor's Eyewitness, if they're still in business, they do a stainless knife. But I'm not really interested in stainless knives. I'm all about that carbon steel because I like the way it changes and everything. Um, but yeah, uh, Arthur Wright and Sons Barlow and Ebony Wood. Definitely a nice little knife here. Well put together, other than my little crack I got in the handle there. Um, and like I said, James and company over there on allaboutpocketknives.com let me know about that, which I certainly appreciate because there's been huge companies that have sent me absolute junk and never, of course, let me know. Um, so, I definitely appreciate them reaching out and being like, hey, did you still want this knife? And of course, since these are, just cosmetic defects that don't really affect the use of the knife, I said, yeah, go ahead and send it. I still want it. Um, but yeah, so like I said, James and company over on allaboutpocketknives.com. Good place for us Americans to get these English made knives, these Arthur Wright and Son knives that I've seen videos about for years, but didn't know where to get one until recently when I found that one on eBay. And I actually ordered one from the United Kingdom, which I also got. But I'm not going to recommend that you do that. I'm going to recommend that you do James and Company if you are from the United States. But you can order from the United Kingdom if you really want to, and it will come. I think it was like 2.5 weeks. I was surprised it came so soon. But I would definitely recommend James and Company unless they don't have what you want, and then maybe order from a dealer over in the United Kingdom if you live here in the States, like I do. But yeah, Arthur Wright and Sons Barlow in ebony wood. Certainly a nice little knife. Another good example of a Barlow. And of course, I love the Barlow knife. I love these Arthur Wright and Son knives because I feel like they're more along the lines of what a pocket knife is supposed to be, where it's just, it's a tool. It's not supposed to be real fancy or anything. And I love my Great Eastern cutleries and some of my better made like case knives and everything. And I love those. But I think a lot of people get caught up in like collecting them and having them pristine and everything. Now, obviously, I do carry my Great Eastern cutlery knives. So they do get patinaed and all that. But this is a knife that I feel like anybody who buys it isn't going to be worried about getting it messed up, getting it rusty, getting it patinaed, getting it scratched up in their pocket. None of that kind of stuff. You're buying this to have a tool in your pocket to cut things, which is what a pocket knife should be. But anyway, really have been enjoying these Arthur Wright and Son knives, if you can't tell. But that's going to be it for this video. I will see you guys in the next one, and I hope you have a good day.